Namaskar, Masters. Welcome to day 12 of Aatma Deepo Bhava. Be a light unto yourself. I hope everyone had a great meditation session. First, let's all be grateful to our Grand Master Prabodh Garu for bringing us this great event, this wonderful event. And to the leadership team, thank you so much for all the hard work you're putting into this to make this happen. And all of you who attended and here with us today, thank you. It is my honor to introduce Master Madhavi, a wise and spiritual individual who has joined PMC in 2020 and Gudakesha in 2021. Master Madhavi has been greatly influenced by wisdom of various spiritual leaders of PMC and has been particularly enlightened by Master Pranahita Ma'am and Grandmaster Prabodh Sir. She has been volunteering her services as a group leader and speaker and has been actively involved in various other activities of Gudakesha, Aatma Deepo Bhava, and so on. As a topic of today's session is service to man is service to God. I would like to quote Mahatma Gandhi, who said, "The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in service of others." Let us all welcome Master Madhavi and listen attentively as she shares her wisdom and knowledge on this profound topic. Stage is yours, Master.
Thank you, Madhavi. Thank you for the warm introduction. Hello, Masters. Myself, Madhavi. And, before we should go ahead, I just to thank you to all the Masters, all the Gurus who have imparted this knowledge and enlightened me and put me in this position, to share my wisdom to all of you. Thank you. And my Masters in PMC, Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji, Pranahita and Prabodh Masters. I humbly show my gratitude to them for bringing great wisdom to me and enlightened me in so many ways. Thank you, Masters. Thank you. I feel, very privileged to share this wonderful platform with you all. And this particular topic we talk about today is the service to human, is the service to God. So this is again, masterpiece creation from Patriji, to give us this knowledge and wisdom to understand and clear the delusions of service, because he says that we are in the path of spirituality, and when we are into PMC, he firmly believes this, that we are already the emperors in rendering our service to the humankind. But when we say that we are emperors, so we should act accordingly. If we have to act accordingly, we need to understand the fundamentals of this service concept. If we don't understand this properly, we don't impart the same light onwards. We have to seek the knowledge, and we have to understand like what our gurus has taught us, and we have to share the same wisdom and knowledge to others. Why I am emphasizing only the knowledge and wisdom is because the service itself says, when we talk about the karma life cycle, where it says like anybody who is in the pain, we need not look at them and show our sympathy, because it's their life design. And only help we can do to them is to impart knowledge to get rid of their karmas. That's the reason the quote has been, created, that Jnanagni Dagdanam Karmanam. So until we, have that knowledge, we can't give it to others. Okay, we understand that we have a knowledge now, but we need to understand the objectives also. When we understand the objective, our purpose will be clear. And when our purpose is, clear, we are determined. So until we are determined, we can't do the service with our soul in it. So we just do it, but we have to do it with a compassion. So that compassion has to come within. So that compassion will be generated in us with so much of understanding and clearing the understandings of the delusions that are created around us. So here in this book, I would like to start up with the first one, the beautiful topic where the essence of service is given the utmost importance to the all the enlightened masters. So Patriji says that whoever joins PMC on day one, he is a master, and his mind is already shaped as an emperor in rendering service to the humankind. So why he says like that? Because he knows that this person who is coming into PMC is not an ordinary person. He's already has done so much sadhana in his past lives that he has come onto this stage after refining himself and put in his position to do this service to humankind. So, but to understand what is the exact meaning of service and how to clear it, he has set as an example of himself. So when he started this mission of pyramid meditation of Anapanasati, he has firmly believed that he has gained some knowledge, and this knowledge he will make a different, not different actually, the same Patrijis every time he imparts his knowledge to each and every man. So he affirmed that the creation of creating so many Patrijis, and we could see the reality now that each and everyone is a Patriji in himself. So we are the true descendants of the PMC. But what we can observe is only few of them have leaped into that, the top of the ascension and understood the beliefs of Patriji, but few of them have, stopped their journey in the middle of their path, and they have um, seen the other path. But why is it like only few of them reached this position? It is because of the path which they have clearly understood from him. If we could see the Prabodh Master or their family, Pranahita or Pradeep Master, they have, completely into this service. I could say service because Prabodh Master has practicing meditation and learning the greater techniques from the Astral Masters, and he is not retaining that knowledge onto him. He is, giving that knowledge to all of us. And also he has created this Gudakesha so that, we should not waste our time in achieving this technique, which he has achieved from the last 2 decades, and which he has learned in the 2 decades. It took 2 decades for him. So what he thought is like the same thing shouldn't be with us. So he created this platform where he has visioned that, we should also be enlightened. But the time that takes for us to like 2 to 3 decades, because he is practicing it very hard. But for us, like we will be in nirvana, we will be doing our routine life and taking like 1 or 2 hours, but he dedicated his life, complete in practicing and learning techniques. So keeping that in mind, he designed this concept, and he has, given us a great path of enlightenment, which is like a quick way to achieve things. So that is a greater platform, and he has created this platform for us. So when he clearly understand the path, and when he holds the determination to lead this path, but not holding that knowledge only to him, but imparting to all of us, is a greater service. As I mentioned earlier, that why we need to only focus on the service of imparting knowledge also is like, when someone is in pain, we should not go and give sympathy, or um, we should not show that emotional thing to them, because it is their design. All we can do is like, we can give them knowledge so that they can get out of it. So that is one of the reasons why we have to seek knowledge and impart it to the others. So if we look at the fundamentals of the objectives of this, like of human service to service to human is the service to God. Patriji says like, whoever is in on the earth, he himself or she himself is a God. So when we look at each person, we should see them as a God. So from the beginning, he mentioned that everyone is a God. So when you are servicing to others, it's like you are bringing them up from the pain or the fear or the other things that are there, which they are bearing from the long time, when they are in this karma cycles. When we are getting them up from that, is again a service which we have to do to everyone on this planet. But to do that, we have to clear our fundamentals or our objectives of this service path. So he started this book, and he started this book, and he mentions that, like, when we need to understand the fundamentals, then we should go to the fundamental level, that is at the root level. So what is our root level? Our root level is our home, our house, where our the first baby steps of our enlightenment starts from our parents and our surroundings, from friends, family. So if we look at the roots of the house, that means, like, when we talk about the relationships, so he starts with the uh, relationship of husband and wife. So he says that, like, a husband and wife, when we talk about each other, he says, like, if a wife has to serve husband, a husband has to serve wife, then he says that that is wrongly used term of service when there is a husband and wife relationship. Because in this kind of relationship, there should be compassion and care for each other. So out of compassion and care, when they are taking care of themselves, and in this path, like, if they are trying to help each other, so that is a compassion or help that should be referred as, but not service. So we never should say that I'm serving my husband, or we should not say that, like, I served my wife for a long time, no matter whatever the situation is. But they have to use the term that, yeah, that is the compassion towards each other that makes us take care of each of them. So that is the first thing that needs to be understood, that it is compassion. Then comes the relationship of parenting, is like parents and the children. So here is the greatest delusion that is clearly misunderstood by all of us, which needs to be understood today, is when people says, like, in the children is serving their parents. like even the parents are little old, so only at that time this word is referred, like the children are serving parents. That's a wrongly used term, which we should not use it. Why? Because when we are coming onto this planet, right from that, like right from the soul design and the initial days to till now, the contribution or uh, the love and affection that we get from parents is not countable. It's not measurable, I could say, because they never use that, I serve my kids, I served my children, I'm serving my children. They never use this term as serving my children. So, but when it comes to the part of the children, people around us says that, the children are serving their parents. So we should clear this point that we should never ever refer the term called service when it comes to parent and children. When we measure the contribution of them to us, is not even we can count, like how much enormous it could be, the greatest sacrifices they could have made for us. So it is the duty and responsibility of children to compassionate the parents when at times there is a need of help, because until the need is arise, they still, be with us and take care of us, help us. But until they give up, like until there is a situation of physical disability, until then they are like taking, they need some help. Until then, they don't need any help. So we never ever use the word called service when it comes to the parents. So this needs to be clear. And after we step out of the house, the next place where we get the enlightenment or wisdom is the Guru. So when it comes to Guru, we should understand that, when we go to Guru, we see people, pressing the legs or giving water and other things, and they call it like, I served my Guru. This is again a bad notion that, always held in our minds. It's not service. It's again, I could say that compassion. It is what the Patriji also says. It's a compassion that has there for towards our Guru. Because again, when we compare the Guru's wisdom or sacrifice in shaping all of us to make us be like this in this position, if we compare that to what we are doing to them, is not measurable. It's not measurable. They do so much to us. They take we should, respect the time, the patience, the compassion for all of us. And yeah, I could say, like, we can't compare each and everything with like parents and all, but Guru's efforts, we should also look at it, because we say like, yeah, Guru has imparted, but for how much practice he has done to get that wisdom, and how much patience he has, like, because we, like, at sometimes in our offices or in our houses, we don't have the patience to handle people, but as a Guru, he has to handle so many people who are, um, still a babies in this world of wisdom, with world of spirituality. So he has to take care of so many people with a different mindset and with different approaches. So he has to put a lot of effort in shaping them. So if that person, if a Guru is taking care of their descendants so well, and in return, whatever we do it, we, boast it that, we are serving our Guru. Like, but if we look at the two corners, two ends of the comparison, we could say, like, are we really serving the Guru, or the Guru is serving us? If you look at the sacrifices, or if you look at their time, uh, that is more valuable, and he has to practice, and out of it again he has to take time to impart that knowledge. So that contribution, we should always be humbly gratitude to all the gurus, irrespective of the physical or non-physical, or the gurus which are surrounded by us. To all of them also, it's a great salutation that they have imparted so much to us to, get out of this karma cycle. So the this is three things. The first thing is like understanding the husband-wife relationship. So here we are not using the term service, but only compassion. And when it comes to the parenting service, so we should not ever and never ever use the term service. It's only the duty and the responsibility, and we should always come with a compassion. And the third one is the guru and the descendant relationship, where the guru has a lot of compassion towards his towards their descendants in shaping them. So over there also, we should not use the service as a term to the guru. In turn, actually, the guru is serving us, not we serving the guru. So even if we see that, if we see our Prabodh sir also, he is, imparting so much enlightenment. Like they say that, there are thousands of people, but there are like more than thousand, because if one person is enlightened, their entire family is getting enlightened. Their entire family is in harmony. So we should not stay looking at the participant that only, some thousands are enlightened. No, it's more than that. Uncountable people that are getting enlightened. So that is one thing. So next, coming to us. Now we need to start our spiritual path with our fundamentals being properly understood. So first thing is we need to understand the human race that has been, coming onto the earth, and the human race has been divided based upon their births. Say the person, a soul who has taken his journey for the first time, to the soul who has taken his journey like after 1,000 years, there is a lot of, refining that has been done to that soul's journey. So looking at that soul's journey, so Patriji says like there are three categories of people. So one is Tamogun, Rajogun, and Sattvikan. So he categorized this to make us understand. So when you are coming to this service path, you need to understand that like there are different kinds of people and how we are going to deal with them. Are we really dealing with them? Or we really need to understand them? So he says that, if a soul is taking birth on this earth, if he is having like 0 to 50 births, if he had traveled this many births, so that person can be considered under Tamogun. So, and if the soul is like somewhere between 50 to 100 or more than that, he's called Rajogun. More than 100 is Sattvic Gun. So, what are the characteristics traits each gun holds, and how to identify it with this gun? So, if a soul is in a Tamogun, the person will be is directionless. He doesn't understand the purpose of his life. What he does in his life is like, his life will be soon after the animal life, as we all know. So soon after the animal life, so what an animal's purpose of life is like to have the food and to, stay on this earth. So in the similar way, if we take the initial period of soul's life, the same qualities will be visible. Like the person doesn't understand like why he has taken the human form and what is his where he is directed to and what is the purpose of his life. So what he'll do is like he's simply having a great food, great time, have good time and entertainment, and this is what his life be. And he doesn't understand like is there need of spiritual wisdom is required or what is actually the spiritual wisdom. So nothing is visible in this 0 to 50 words of his life. So when it comes to 50 to 100 is like Rajogun. So the souls in this uh, time duration, so how they will be like the characteristic traits will be like they will put their purpose of achieving something in their life, some materialistic gains or some what do you call some fame, some political gains, or like in the materialistic world, whatever we say that this is the topmost area like one should have to hold the luxury, so they achieve their purpose and goal to that area. So that is the characteristics of uh, the people who are in Rajogun. So when you have these people, if you start talking to them, they won't understand the spiritual this thing. They think that this is timeless thing. So when you are dealing with them, you need to understand their background. Like, okay, this category of people is this, and the third in is Satogan. And before in Satogan also there are two categories. One is before actually they are the person holds the complete traits. The intermediary between these two, the soul will be into fine arts. They doesn't have any interest in the materialistic gains. They don't need any materialistic gain to sustain in this life, but what they need is the beauty of the fine arts, whether it could be a great music playing around, or if they are singing a great song, or if they are listening to a great song, they enjoy that, part. So they enjoy that music, or they enjoy designing it. We could say that, if a person is designing a big mandala picture, we would be thinking like, oh my God, he's taking so much time and effort. We won't be feeling like uh, that what do you call the finer details of finer patience that we hold for doing that. We don't have that because we are not onto it. But the people who are in that time frame, they enjoy that. They enjoy each and everything out of nowhere. Like if even if two rocks are making sound, they seek the beauty of it. They enjoy that presence. They identify the music, so they get attracted to the people who are uh, into finance, whether it could be reading, writing, or whatever it is. And the fourth come is the Sattvic mind, where only the spiritual wisdom is emphasized. I mean, they clearly understand like why we are here on this earth and where we are, going, and what is our goal, and how we should do it. So these people, they are into the service. So when he says like when these people are in spirituality, they understand the service. So when we say the term service, we always have one more wrong idea of understanding a thing like when we are servicing, we are helping others. It is the other way around. It is like when a person who is servicing, he is at the receiving end, but we usually think that the person who is receiving is at the benefit part of the other side. No, it's the other way thing. The person who is servicing, that the person who gives his service is at the receiving end. It is how it is like when we are servicing, the happiness that comes out of it is the most important thing, which is not bought from any of the materialistic things. So As we keep on servicing, we evolve. We reach from the state of happiness to Sachidanandam and again to the Brahmanandam. So even the service is at the, like, we are at the receiving end. So we need to understand that we are at the receiving end, but not the others. So we are doing it to for our benefit, not to the others. When we understand it, we don't feel a burden. We do it out of happiness. We feel the happiness in serving others. So that is one more thing. And now we understood, like, the three concepts, the different kinds of people, and now we need to understand how this person of one time frame has evolved in serving. This say, like, Buddha has the eightfold path, so we should do as in we should do any service as we are in nirvana. So we have our duties, responsibilities, our families. So again, apart from that, we need to do the service. So how we are doing it? So he says, like, if we take a simile of a woman, so she has her household task to do. After that, whatever the time she gets it at leisure, he says that she should start, the service from that leisure time. So how can she do it? She can do it by teaching, neighbor children some music or some knowledge, or he can do some service to the elderly people by teaching some, reading out some scriptures of Bhagavad Gita. So this is the smallest kind of service they can start with. Because he says, like, when we talk about service, it always not start with a big ocean. It always starts from the drops of that river, which shapes into an ocean. So even our service should be like that. We should not say that, how come I do a service when I have so many things to do in my family? But if you understand how, it's not how, like, if we understand, like, what are the ways, then we can find the direction. We can understand, like, okay, this is how I can do it. Then your purpose and objective of life will also be taken place. Otherwise, what we do is, like, when we will waste our time in that leisure time in some other activities which is not required. So we read books in our leisure time, and the same knowledge, whatever we gain it, we can give service to the others. And also, when we talk about the person who is, like, started his first steps, and when he keeps on doing it to the, if he keeps on increasing his area, like, to few people, to good amount of, to the massive area of people, then he will be called as the emperor in service. So these people, when they are predetermined to service, no, just want to clear that, like, even when we are starting the service from home, we always have the challenges from the family members. But when we have our objective clear, because they say, like, when you have this leisure time, why don't you start a business, or why don't you earn something which can give some money to you? But you need to understand that who is speaking. If that person who is challenging you is not from the Sattva, he is somewhere around Rajogun, who doesn't understand what you are doing it. So we need to ignore those challenges, and we should go ahead and understand what we are doing it. So if we look at the people who are at the ocean kind of level, we can say that Vivekananda, we can say the Gandhiji, who are designed their souls to do the service. When a person is determined, when he doesn't have any material gains to achieve, and when he is in the last gun, so how the influence will be. He will be like, attracting. His only purpose of life is to service humankind. So that is what we need to achieve. We should not ever think like one single person can do anything. I am single person. Can I do? Can I achieve so many things, or can I achieve the same way what they have achieved? For that, for that thing, we have a better examples of Patriji or Prabodh sir. They have started their journey with a single person, but what they are now. So that is what is the, I say that the greatest of greatest examples we could clearly see now. Because when we talk about the great leaders, great yogis who has achieved and who has given great service, so if we don't see them, what they have done, but what present gurus who are with us, what they have done and what they are doing it, we can see it. So masters, so this book, like Service to God to Service to Humankind, clearly states that we need to understand people. We need to clearly state our objectives to walk onto this path. And when we have any of the challenges, we need to understand the challenges, where the challenges are coming up, and we should not stop onto this journey, because this journey is for us, not to others. When we walk on this path, the happiness or the sacrifice that we, the sacrifices we say, but that is the ultimately the bliss that we are getting out of it. So what we gain from this is like the ultimate one. So this is a very good book, Masters. And regarding the service also, I want to share one example. So I have attended that workshop of Chandrapur very recently. So over there, I was, learning my the technique that Prabodh sir was imparting during that time. But what I was also observing is two people around Prabodh sir. One is Sumant Master, because it was my first journey with Prabodh sir. I have seen him for the first time when I went to Chandrapur workshop. So it was like 5 o'clock in the train, and Sumant Master, started his Aatma Deepo Bhava season 1. I mean, we were in the same this thing. So he started his calls. He keeps on doing his activities irrespective of what is happening around him. But the dedication which I have seen in Suman sir clearly made me uh, more compassionate towards him, because what I have just mentioned, like it is at the, when we serve, it is we are at the receiving end. That is the best example what I have seen in Suman sir, because in 24 hours I have seen the same smile, the same patience he always holds in 24 hours. So he won't be having food or anything. His only focus will be in serving. If one task is done, the other comes up. So, and I have never seen any irritation kind of thing on his face. With a great smile, he'll be doing this service. So that kind of thing we need to, understand. Okay, this is how the service will be. I understood that. Okay. And second thing is what I have, the second person where I have understood the service in real terms is the Krishnaveni ma'am. We were in meditation, we were doing our work, and like we were learning so many techniques with Prabodh sir. Krishnaveni ma'am is the only one who's like taking care of the cooking part. I thought like, okay, it is her passion, or it is her service. It is the service thing that comes within her. I understood in on the last day we were moving to the railway station, and evening dinner was not planned. We were very tired actually. Tired in the sense little, it was last day. We had sent off so many people. We were little low in the evening. So we were not in a plan to eat something because we are not planning to, cut something and have some fruits. Even that time also, from morning, from the 3 days, she was, continuously doing, this kitchen part. Yet in the evening also, as a mother, he has, cut all the fruit for all of us and has given. Immediately, the one thing that comes from my mind and my mouth is like, if she's really the Annapurna of Gudakesha, because it is only that motherly divine thing which she has inculcated and made integral part of her life. Only then this kind of thing and service given to others. So masters, if you keep on looking at people around us who's already into the service, and only then we can understand, okay, this is how the bliss is achieved. When you give, you will get that bliss. So with this, I think I can conclude the session, masters. Thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity to share my wisdom. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, you can ask.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you so much, Master. It was wonderful hearing your experience and other great masters as well, especially Sumant Garu. And you are such an inspiration to others to give more. And I was really shy. I did not want to do this, but Sumant Garu was my inspiration. He gives and gives and gives so much. I just wanted to do that small part for Gudakesha because I got so much.
Yeah.
And thank you, ma'am. That was a wonderful message.
Sumant is, really inspires us if you look at it. But if you see, it is also the great thing on your part also, because he says to everybody, but the person who listens and wants to do something next, okay, he said something, but I need to do is also a great thing, because we need to, he inspired us well. So the same thing, that the same concept is this, right? Aatma Deepo Bhava. He enlightened us, and we need to do the same thing to the others. We should also, set an example to others. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. We can conclude the program.
Okay, Master, I think we can conclude if there are no questions.
I think questions and I conclude these things.
Okay, Andy.
Thank you.
And you just need to stop recording, Anukunta, because I'm not sure how to.
But I conclude
That's
this
how.
thing, stop this.
Okay. Thank you, Masters. Thank you for joining us this evening for the meditation session and the wisdom sharing session. Once again, let us all be grateful for our Grand Master Prabodh Garu for giving us this wonderful event, and all the leadership team for their contribution, and the speaker, Master Madhavi Garu, for sharing this wonderful wisdom and knowledge with us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir. Thank you, madam.
Thank you. Thank you.